again through the rest of the story. And this time we're giving some backstory on our participation in African American History Month in February, and also attention to Martin Luther King Jr.'s day of celebration that we remember him. We have to go all the way back. We have been participating eagerly and earnestly in Black History Month since we opened the school in 1984. You're probably aware, I think it became a national movement, or at least an initiative, back in 1976. But we grabbed onto it immediately as soon as we started the school. And this is what I want to explain about the backstory, because it's important. As you know, we put a great emphasis on character, and developing children's character has two sides. On the one side, there's the whole realm of productivity and achievement. You have to set goals, you have to work hard, be persistent, have resilience, bounce back when you fail, and persist until you're able to achieve your goal, or you're able to produce something that's of meaning. All those characteristics are necessary to lead a successful life in the realm of achievement, profession, and so forth. But there's another side, and that is, how do you get along with the people that are in your world? How do you work with people? How do you understand people? In what ways do you show compassion to others? In which way do you go about trying to understand them and trying to work together as a team? That is equally as important, and it requires also the cultivation of not just habits, but also of the way of looking at the world and way of understanding. See, if you emphasize one side of character over the other, you're going to get some awkward development. Either you're going to get someone who can achieve a lot, successful, maybe makes a lot of money, makes a lot of progress in their profession, but they don't know how to treat people. You just have no respect for them. You're not interested in who they are. You just want to keep your distance. You do not admire a person like that. But similarly, if someone's always talking about how we need to help others, be kind to each other, and understand one another, but they can't do anything, then it's nothing but talk. And usually those people are real good at judging others. You need both. And that's from the very beginning what we needed to pay attention to. Now, I think you a little bit begin to see why the celebration of African American History Month was so important to us. Well, there's a couple ways that this happens in the way children learn. One, you know that from the day we opened the school, we had Caucasian children, we had African American children, we had Asian children, we had Middle Eastern children, and we had Eastern European children. Quite a combination, mostly by accident. But from the very beginning, we had what people appreciate today, calling us a very diverse school, or giving us a nod to multiculturalism. That is helpful, because if you know people face to face, and you've played with children of other races, or you've worked with children from other cultures or other religions, you have a different feeling when you hear talk that's negative or unfair, unjust, bigoted. You realize, no, that's not true. I had a friend from the Middle East. I have a friend who's African American. I have a friend who's Catholic or Protestant. I know them. I have personal familiarity with somebody. Well, that's one of the advantages of having a diverse environment, but that's not enough, because just because you have one Lutheran friend does not mean you know all Lutherans, or you have one Middle Eastern friend, therefore you know Middle Eastern friend. No, it's very helpful, but we do not promote a diversity that just says, well, we've got so many Caucasians, we've got so many Asians, we've got so many from China. We have that's good. That's better than having an all-white population, but it's not adequate. So the second part, and this is especially where Black History Month comes in, and that is one of the habits to begin to know and appreciate people and to work with people, is you have to make an effort to know stories. Knowing stories through literature, through movies, through visitors who talk about themselves and their culture, your world is expanded. to understand the life people have led and the types of difficulties they had, the types of difficulties they overcame, the opportunities they have. You begin to get a little sense why this person is like they are. That is more the secret to knowing how to get along with people in the world, how to serve people in the world, is because you make the effort to get to know who people are. So from the very beginning, we started openings. I think you're familiar with that. Every morning, 15 minutes, we read stories about great people, people from all walks of life, all races, all religions, all cultural and ethnic backgrounds. And we read by authors from those very multifaceted backgrounds. So children begin to realize morning after morning, year after year, they're listening to stories of people from all over. And part of it also is to talk to children about how you think about other people. Why is so-and-so like this? I do this a lot with the Ben Franklin, with the 8th graders, where we watch a number of movies that describe we call great people doing great things. Whether they're very famous people, someone like Jackie Robinson, or whether they're not quite, you don't know their names, like the Tuskegee Airmen, you don't know their names, you may know the name of that flight crew. But we talk about and we wrestle with the problems they had, their thinking to overcome the problems, how they faced the various situations that were unique to their race or unique to their religion. We're going to be watching one soon. That's a story of some Mexican Americans from Arizona who participated in a national sign contest and won. Well, the obstacles they had to face begins to make the children realize my life is not everyone's story. I need to listen how other people have lived their lives. I need to be aware of how other people live their lives. Then in doing so, my heart is wide open to help, to be supportive, to be a friend, to work together. And I think you can see now why Black History Month is so important to us. We grasp that opportunity. You know, last year we had Dr. Reverend Moss come and visit the children and talk about his experiences as an African American working in the civil rights movement, even along people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We would like to get people in so the children's eyes are open, their minds are open, their hearts are open to know the story of other people. And in doing so, you cultivate this awareness. Don't judge by what you see. Don't judge by some rumors that you heard behind you. Get to know people. Be interested in people and get to know their whole perspective as why they are what they are. And, you know, I want to finish this lecture up with inviting any of you in from a unique background that you've had, Eastern European or Asian or Indian, any country that you're from. You want to come and talk about your story. It's important. Stories that the children learn and then can extract from it lessons that may not show up tomorrow or next week, but in the course of their lifetime, those seeds are planted. The beautiful histories of individual stories of people being good people, being great people, and learning from that. You know, our participation in Black History Month, you can see how rich it is. So we use the resources. There's so many wonderful resources for us to use with the children to open their world and to help them appreciate the history of the African Americans and to understand all the beauty that goes into the lives of people from that community. Thank you.